Start over then. No, call to order. Are there any, you've received the minutes via email. Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes from the October meeting? Hearing none, I'll accept a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the meeting minutes of the previous meeting. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, we're passing around the proof of publication and the notice of affidavits. Need a motion to make those matter of record.
So moved, I will.
Okay, is there a second? Second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. It will be made a matter of record. We have before us a petition, NK Decatur Holdings 1 LLC and Josh Heck, petitioning for change of zoning from RS Residential Suburban to C3 Roadside Business for the Cottonwood Mobile Home Park, 521 South 13th Street, Decatur, Indiana 46733. Refer to City Code Chapter 150 zoning. So if the applicant would like to make a presentation, I don't know which one of you wants to go, or...
Good afternoon. I am Justin Wall, attorney, Wall Legal Services in Huntington, Indiana. I'm the attorney and also broker for NK Decatur Holdings 1 LLC. I'm here to represent Nick Koss, who's the owner and managing member of NK Decatur Holdings 1 LLC. He is the property owner for 3 particular parcels located at 521 South 13th Street, Decatur, calling those commonly shapes.
Sir, if you'll hold just a second, we probably need to get the mic on you.
Justin, if you'd like this,
You
we
can
can
sit
just
up
move it
there.
over
Just
there.
move it.
Yeah.
We just need to make certain we got it on record. I'm sorry.
Again, I'm the attorney for NK Decatur Holdings 1 LLC, representing Nick Koss, managing member and sole owner. The application that you have pending before you is in regards to one particular parcel, and it's the largest of 3 parcels that comprise the address there at 521 South 13th Street in Decatur, Indiana, that are owned by NK Decatur Holdings 1. There are 2 small rectangular parcels in the upper left corner there that you see that will be owned and maintained ownership by NK Decatur Holdings 1 at this point in time, with purposes of possible redevelopment down the road. At this point in time, there is a purchase agreement in place between NK Decatur Holdings 1 LLC and Mr. Heck and his business there to purchase the large parcel, which is approximately 10.59 acres there, and to redevelop that particular parcel for Mr. Heck's purposes related, I believe, to his trailer sales business that he has. We have presented before the board today our affidavit of service for notice and whatnot in the petition for rezoning. It's currently zoned mobile home, single family, and I believe it needs to be rezoned appropriately for Mr. Heck's purposes, and I'll have him explain to the board at the appropriate time what his intentions are for this particular parcel of ground and what his needs may be for that, and that's the relief that we're requesting today from the board.
Okay, any questions from the board members at this time?
Mr. Wall, you're saying on my picture graph here, it says that this section up at the top here is to be retained by Koss, and is that the only area that he's retaining?
There are 2 small parcels. If you look at the GIS records, there are 3 parcels that comprise this address, 521 South 13th Street, and I don't know if you could really see it from that particular aerial view, but if you're looking on 13th Street itself, there's a small frontage of road that is adjacent to 13th Street, and right behind it is another small parcel that's right behind it, and it basically makes up a rectangular chunk of ground. And then you have the primary large parcel, which is 10.59 acres, which is the bulk of the existing mobile home
So you're
park.
just talking this picture here?
Oh, well. One parcel? This is one parcel?
Yep.
And this
Yeah, the big,
Yeah.
is all one parcel.
One parcel.
Right. Isn't that great?
Right here,
Bill?
somebody's retained.
Yeah, that, just curious, would you know what Mr. Wall's intent is to do with that
Mr.
property?
Costa's intent?
Or cost, I'm sorry.
At this point in time, he is weighing some options of using those parcels for some business redevelopment, basically to either erect a new structure on those.
So he is removing the current trailers that are there.
As part of the purchase agreement, all mobile homes that exist in the park will be removed, including all the demolition debris that's in there currently.
And those three.
As far as I know, those three are also to be removed. I believe that's part of the contract. I believe that he has no tenants in there at this point in time, and it's my understanding his intention to remove those last three. I know I spoke to him with very few tenants at one point in time. It just doesn't make it feasible to keep it operational as a mobile home park. So having three mobile homes there is not going to do a bit of good. And I know he is working with a private contractor currently to finish the demolition and removal of the existing mobile homes and the debris that's currently in place in the mobile home park.
Well, those three would have to have something done to them to make them occupied.
I don't know which three.
I was just.
They all start to look the same after a while, so I don't know which three those would be that you're referring to.
I think it's the three that are on the parcels that he's going to keep.
Yeah, I can't remember which of those three are. I think maybe one, maybe a double wide. I don't recall the layout of the.
Yeah, all the windows are out of it, and the water heaters are falling out. So.
Any other questions from board members?
No.
Okay, then I'll go on to
Well, I think Mr.
Mr.
Heck
Heck,
yeah, wait.
what his plans are for the particular property, the reason for the request for the rezoning.
Right. Mr. Heck, would you like to join him at the table and let us know what you plan to do?
Okay. Plan's pretty simple. We're going to continue to build our trailer store and our trucking company. So what I am going to do is once everything is gone, then I want to use the concrete pads basically in place of stone. So I can put multiple trailers. I can put more of your race car trailers, show trailers, if you will, the ones that the Rev Group wants, to pull behind their diesel pusher motorhomes. That's what I'm envisioning right now, to get that 27 frontage cleaned up quickly, very quickly, so we can have nice displays out there. And then I'll give people an opportunity to drive through on the roads and just take a look at all the product that we have to offer. We'll also have our trucking company. We've been hiring. We've doubled our fleet, so we might have some of our trucks in the back portion parked there. But it's just temporary, just over a weekend for 34-hour restart.
These are delivery trucks, the trucks that deliver your trailers?
Yeah, we actually own a trucking company too, so we deliver for all the manufacturers all over the country.
Okay.
So I've got 2 guys from Arkansas now, so it gives them a place instead of at the hotel.
So you're saying basically it's an outside showroom.
Absolutely. And eventually the goal will be we will put up a brand new facility in the middle of the park.
Great.
Good.
Any questions of Mr. Heck?
Your business is right behind on Elm Street or wherever it is behind there?
No, it's
We're on 11th. We're right there in the
11th.
corner.
I see it in the corner there.
right here at the corner, Jack.
Yeah.
Yes.
You are aware that we do have a water main running through the middle of that, right?
Yes. Yep.
Verifying
Okay, any other questions? It's a close location for you to your current spot, so.
Yeah, I think we can just open up the fence, put some stone down, and create a drive-in to our current lot so they can get to our service department, to our sales department.
Yeah.
And that'll suffice until we're ready to break ground and build new.
Okay.
Kurt, the
rezoning request is from RS, residential suburban, to C3, roadside business, so this is an appropriate or permitted use in their zoning classification.
Okay, any further questions from board members? Either one, yeah,
I
Bill?
have some questions. The gas lines and water lines within this property, I think we had to go across the street by Ideal and actually turn that main valve off for all the gas lines, Donnie, and I don't think we ever did that, did we?
I don't know if the gas company's done that yet or not.
Yeah.
The water's off, we're gonna unhook the sanitary sewer lines, because we have so much water coming into them right now. We'll be doing that next week.
I think, Josh, what you want to do is make sure that the gas company turns all those gas lines off that are all throughout the park.
Yeah.
Only because, especially if you start doing construction, whatever, on the,
Right, yeah.
those things, you don't want them to be active. And I think right now, each individually one is active.
That I'm not aware of.
Yeah, so,
You don't know either.
I'm assuming they've been shut off or terminated at some point in time.
well, the main termination is out, like I said, on 13th Street. I don't think that's been done yet that I'm aware of, so I just make it a matter of record that you know that and can pursue that.
Any further questions? Okay then, yes, Ken?
This isn't in reference to what Josh is doing, but rather to the parcel that Mr. Koss isn't going to rezone. What is it zoned right now?
Residential suburban.
Residential suburban, so what could go in there being zoned that?
It's just a residential house. It's
Residential primarily.
trailers, again.
If Mr. Cross subsequently decides that he's
Yeah.
going to redevelopment for some business use, he'd have to come back in and rezone it.
Okay, and that was my question, as to why he just didn't have the whole thing rezoned.
That's his decision, I guess.
Okay, we'll ask then if there's anyone here that wishes to speak in opposition. Seeing no additional person, is there anyone who wishes to speak in favor?
I'll speak in favor of it. I think it's a fantastic opportunity for Josh. I know his business is going really well.
It's just got to be handy, it works out so handy for him to
It's a
do
good
that.
location for him, and yeah, we're seeing nothing but the best of it, so.
Yeah. And it gets that area cleaned up, so we're pleased to have that. Okay, any final questions, comments of the applicant, or either applicant? If not, so I just start with this, or?
Basically, then the issue is, you need to have a motion that's acted upon either in favor or against, in terms of a recommendation that's made to council. The Plan Commission, after the hearing, has the opportunity to make a recommendation to approve or recommend to council to approve the rezoning as requested. It can recommend that the rezoning be rejected, or it can choose to make no recommendation. So you have three choices. So the motion should be whichever of those three choices you're in favor of, that's the motion. If it obtains a second, then there would be a vote. If a majority votes in favor of that proposal, then we'll note the vote total, we'll strike the other two choices that the Plan Commission has, and then Barb would sign on behalf of the commission. That would be dated today, and then that would be delivered this evening to the council. I've got an ordinance prepared to rezone the property should the recommendation from council be to move forward with rezoning as requested.
So at this point then, I am open to a motion to whatever you wish. Do you wish to recommend that we approve and grant the proposal, or reject it, or make no recommendation?
I would make a motion to and recommend that we change the zoning from residential suburban to RS roadside business, C3, I'm sorry, C3 roadside business.
Okay, motion's been made. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. And we adopt, so at this point then,
You'll fill in the number of votes, so
number
it'd
of
be
votes, I guess I'd go
6-0.
6 for the vote. Vote of 6 to 0.
Okay, and then we're going to
Strike
strike B and C. Date it and then sign it.
20th. Day of November 2018. So we thank you, and we will go ahead and proceed with this evening at the city council meeting, and hopefully everything will be in, as Tim said, he's got the ordinance ready, so hopefully we can see that taken care of this evening also. And we thank you both for attending and wish you well.
Thank you. Thank you.
We look forward to a good area out there. It looks looking better already.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
You're welcome to be. I can't imagine. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to the agenda. Is there any old business or discussion we need to hold this evening? Tim, do you have anything we need to deal with?
The one thing that we'll be making some changes to the zoning code. One of the things that we ran into with regard to a zoning matter was that we didn't have language in there that allows for recovery of certain expenses and attorney fees in the event that you get into litigation. So in order to be able to recover those type of expenses, that's something that probably should be included. So I'll be putting together some language on that, and that'll get introduced before council. My guess is it'll probably go into effect sometime around the first of the year. So, other than that, no.
Okay, Kurt, anything? Okay, new business. I see we got a plan commission meeting scheduled for December 18th for the new Courtesy Motor Building, and an organizational meeting on January 15th, 2019. So those two are meetings are scheduled for us. Any other new business?
Do you have the plans on Courtesy yet?
No, sir.
Okay.
We've seen a generic plot plan, but it's nothing official yet. Waiting on it to come through.
It'll be interesting to see how they shoehorn things in there.
Well, for the time being, what they're going to do is they're going to tear down the modular structure of some sort of metal. They're going to tear that out, and they're going to put the new building right in front of it. They're going to plan on it.
Good.
If I may ask one question while Mr. Wall and Mr. Heck are still here. Normally, the council will introduce an ordinance and adopt it on the first two readings and then table it for a third and final reading at the next meeting. That would be December 4th, I think it is. It's first Tuesday of be the first Tuesday in December.
Yeah, the 4th.
Does that pose any problems? I don't know when you're closing. It's my understanding you're still waiting on a survey and a phase 1 study. Is that correct?
That should not affect the closing date.
Okay.
If you have a final decision that the rezoning is less and all done by December 4th, that won't affect our...
Okay. I just want to make sure because typically they don't suspend the rules unless there's real urgency. So if that's not going to create a problem, then we'll probably follow our normal procedure then.
Okay, anything else to be brought before the group this evening? If not, then I will take a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
So moved twice, so I guess that's a A motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, thank you all, and happy Thanksgiving.